Solga, Ivy Masters Learning Center at ivymasters.com, and today we're going to look at 13th question from Digital SAT Test 2 Module 1. This is from the Bluebook app. Number 13 reads, which choice best describes data that weaken the student's conclusion? So what do you got to focus on here? You got to focus on the word weaken, and you got to focus on the word conclusion. Usually when it asks the conclusion, the verb concluded will be in the last sentence, and we really want to focus on that last sentence of the paragraph, sometimes two sentences of the paragraph. Now, as soon as you see the graph, I can tell you what most students will do is they'll say, hey, what's true based on the graph? And if there's more than one thing true based on the graph, they'll say, crap, how could more than one of these be true, but which one could be the correct answer if they're both true based on the graph, or even all four of them in some cases are true based on the graph? In that case, you've got to focus on what the question's asking and what the passage is saying. So let's run through the answer. Now, on test day, you would do exactly this. You read the paragraph, you circle the word concluded in the last sentence, focus on that conclusion. You got to make sure it's true based on the graph, and you've got to make sure it weakens the conclusion. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through the answer choices. Now, I can anticipate, since it says the word weaken, that some of the answer choices are going to strengthen the conclusion. So let's see if answer choice A weakens the conclusion. Spider population count was the same in both enclosures on day one. Is that true based on the graph? It is. Answer choice B, the spider population count was also substantially declined by day 30 in the enclosures without lizards. Yeah, they're both declined by day 30. Answer choice C, the largest decline in spider population count of the enclosure with lizards occurred between from day 1 to day 10. 1 to 10, and we look with lizards. With lizards is the black one, absolutely. And then the spider population count on day 30 was lower in the enclosure with the lizards than it was in the enclosure without the lizards. That's true. All four of them are true based on the table. So I said I'm going to say again what I said before. We've got to focus on what the passage is saying, particularly the last question, and what the question is asking for. So we read, to investigate the effect of lizard predation on spider populations, a student in a biology class placed spiders in two enclosures, one with lizards and one without, and tracked the number of spiders in the enclosure for 30 days. The student concluded, so on test day you've got your annotate feature. You double click on concluded, hit that annotate, it'll highlight, it'll give you an option to make a note, but we don't want to waste too much time. Student concluded that the reduction in spider population count in the enclosures with lizards by day 30 was entirely attributable to the presence of lizards. So if it's entirely attributable to the presence of lizards, then if there's no lizards there, I would expect them to be, let's say the spider count, let's say it's about 85 over here. I would expect the spider count to still be 85 where there's no lizards, but that's not the case. So what did I just do? I anticipated the answer. Let's go to the answer choices. Answer choice A, spider population count was the same in both enclosures on day 1. That does not weaken or support, it doesn't do anything as far as the student's conclusion. Reduction spider population count with lizards by day 30 is entirely attributable to the presence of lizards. Answer choice B, spider population count also substantially declined by day 30 in the enclosure without lizards. That actually looks good. My prediction was that, hey, if the reduction in spider population was entirely attributable to the presence of lizards, then if there were no lizards, there'd be the same number of spiders in that gray bar would be at 85 the whole time. But that's not true. That gray bar is where there's no lizards. So population count without lizards also declined a lot. Answer choice B looks perfect. We're going to look at the other answer choices though. C, largest decline in spider population in the enclosure with lizards occur between day 1 and day 10. Well, if anything, that supports the student's conclusion, because we would expect those lizards are hungry, and by day 10 they're going to eat just about all the spiders in there. See, it's gone. Answer choice D. Spider population count on day 30 was lower in the enclosure with lizards than enclosure without lizards. And once again, that seems to support maybe, if no lizards was still 85, then you could say that spider population on count day 30 was lower where there were lizards than where there were without lizards. So your correct answer is B. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You could share it with someone who has difficulty reading graphs, which really wasn't the problem here. Doesn't know to focus on the conclusion, the last sentence, misses the word weekend, any of the above. You got to really pay attention to the question and the passage if the graph does not answer your question. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out that 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.